You know, every time I make this point, I feel like I'm probably going to get called out for some misogynistic, at least perception of what I said. But I really do stand by it and think that there is something going on here. Why do all conservative white women look the same? I swear to God, there are two categories, alright? And I've said this before. They are either ditzy, bimbo-ish blonde women from the Midwest or Canada, and if they're not blonde, if they're brunette, and they have glasses. From Boebert to Sarah Palin, the brunettes look like that. Otherwise, they are a blonde, bimbo-ish, plastic surgeried up, sort of Barbie doll-looking figure. I've seen this overwhelmingly. Or they're from Russia. They're oftentimes from Russia, too. That's obviously pretty common. Mormonism, it could be a lot of them are Mormons. You're not wrong. That could be a part of it. Not really bimbo. Conservative blonde women are all super bland. No, there's something bimbo-ish about them, and what I mean by that is that they're very dumb. They're like very... They talk in a way where you can detect their low IQ just from their voice, you know? Like, the way that they trail words, like, one word into the next, you can tell there's not much going on. You know? That head is fucking empty, bro. I think Boebert and particularly Marjorie Taylor Greene are good examples of this, but regardless, I've made this point a lot of times. However, there's been a creator who has come out with a whole video about this. It's only 2 days old and has 500,000 views, which absolutely fucking based, by the way, because there's long since we have needed to have this conversation. This video is by a YouTuber named Amanda Mariana, and it's called Why Do Republican Women Look Like That? Very straightforward, to the point title. I love it. I'm going to drop a link to the video in chat, and certainly leave a comment down below and let me know if I forget to include it in the description of this video when it goes out on its own on YouTube. But in the meantime, make sure you go leave a like on that video, the original one, as well as mine if you would so please. You know, every thumbs up goes a long way. Comments too. But in the meantime, let's check out this video. I've got a little sped up, but oh boy. This seems like it's going to be a good one, and it looks like we're starting off with a Congress hearing.
On May 16th, 2024, C-SPAN went World Star. During an already heated House Oversight Committee hearing, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican congresswoman from Georgia, responded.
Dude, we need to watch these, okay? I think that whenever these happen and C-SPAN live streams them, I'm gonna like find a way to get alerts set so that YouTube doesn't fuck me, because YouTube just won't tell you when you turn alerts on all the time. That like the algorithm thinks it knows better, and so if they think you won't be interested in something that like something you're sub to has put out, they just won't notify you. And so if I can find a way to reliably get notified when C-SPAN is live, because they're the, you know, they're the go-to for when they live stream this stuff and they don't copyright when you react to it. I think we should start like doing live reactions to these things, because for one, MTG is almost always there, and regardless, if there's a Republican there, and there always is, they say some awful shit, and half the time it's literally, I mean, just watch this clip. I've seen this clip on Twitter. I remember seeing this clip and thinking, holy fuck, I need to start reacting to these things live on stream, because I don't know how many Americans are unaware of the absolute drama going on in our fucking capital right now. Look at this shit. Watch this. Just watch.
To a question from Representative Jasmine Crockett, a Democratic congresswoman from Texas, by saying,
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
Representative AOC of New
What do you think she meant by that? What do you think she meant by that?
New York jumped in and requested to strike Greene's words and make her apologize, as the remarks.
Also, you're not allowed to do that. Like, even if that was, like, a not racist attack, and you know it was racist, like, based on some, like, bitchy, mean girl stereotype that MTG believes in about black women. But, like, even if it wasn't, the rude comment is not the kind of behavior that's allowed in this circumstance, like, on its own. But you gotta remember, Republicans hold the majority of power here, so wait till you see what happens here.
violated decorum and were a personal disparagement
Based
of
AOC.
Representative Crockett.
That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your
Move
feelings hurt?
her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
After some back and forth,
Man, I wonder why AOC is, like, the most popular politician in the world. I wonder how she achieved that.
Marjorie Taylor Greene eventually agreed to strike her statement towards Crockett, but refused to apologize. Despite demands from Democrats to force Marjorie Taylor Greene to apologize, James Comer, the chairman of the committee, ruled that Greene's insult of Crockett did not violate House rules against engaging in personalities during debate. Naturally, Representative Jasmine Crockett asked Comer for clarification to understand his ruling about what defines a personal attack.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman.
Like I said, we need to start watching these on stream. They're real fucking good.
I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
Hold on.
part
I'm
of the...
trying to find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to strike
I had no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
It was the clapback that shook the halls of Congress, and soon, the internet.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee...
Listen, you gotta remember, fucking anyone can run for Congress, alright? That, like, MTG wins in a landslide in her district, okay? Like, any crazy fucker in some backwoods part of the country can win their district and become a congressional representative. So you gotta remember, there are some fucking clowns in there. And there are also some great people who are willing to lay the smack down on the fucking clowns. And that's what we just saw go down. It's why Congress might actually be the most interesting part of our government on a daily basis, because the people there are far closer to just normal people than most of the rest of the government, if that makes sense. And so this kind of stuff is commonplace. And it's always stoked on and started by the Republicans, mind you.
Committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
A what now?
Bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Baby girl.
In a matter of days,
I hope that one day I can run for Congress and win, just so I can bring one of those, like, funny easels up on, like, the floor to where everyone's looking at me, and I can, like, switch through pages where I'm talking about an important issue, but then, like, when I flip one of the pages, it's a picture of the smiling Titan from Attack on Titan about to eat Aaron's mom, like an angle where she really looks like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And then I can just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know how Marjorie Taylor Greene got in here. And then flip to the next page and go back to talking about... Because you can just do that. Like, you can just totally do that. Like... Yeah, I know her name is Dina Fritz, but you can just totally do that. And I feel like that would go hard as fuck.
days, Crockett's words went viral. It spawned remixes, merch, and even an SNL parody, as well as a number of media appearances. While the clapback was funny and witty, it resonated because it was true, and nothing is worse than someone telling you exactly who you are. What stood out to me about this showdown was the fact that it began because a conservative, far-right Republican woman insulted a liberal Democratic woman for her display of femininity, long, false eyelashes. Historically, conservative critiques of liberal women's appearances involve targeting their looks due to a perceived lack of traditional femininity.
Look, I gotta say this, and I know someone's gonna probably troll me on this, but show me, liberal women tend to be some of the ugliest women I've ever seen. And I'm serious, I mean, zero makeup.
Okay, if that's true, why won't they stop horny posting about AOC? Like, come on, we can all tell that you have a hate boner for AOC, and, you know, keyword boner here, right? Like, we all know what y'all are thinking. Like, these are the guys who are actively fighting to ensure that young progressive women are forced to have sex with them. They obviously consider progressive women attractive, particularly because young women tend to be progressive, and that's the group that they constantly fetishize. The younger, the better to these people. They're constantly fetishizing, I mean, hell, they fetishize underage girls constantly, and I guess it's just fine. No one calls, well, we call them out. But broadly, It doesn't do anything. Like, it seems like broader society doesn't even seem bothered by it.
Well, they take no pride in their, well, they want to be men. They take no pride in their dress, their attire, their makeup, their haircut. Half of them look like men.
For context, the man speaking in this clip is the boyfriend of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, that's rough. That is rough, dude. Like I said, man, I feel like I'm getting into borderline, like, eugenics territory when I talk about how these people all look the same. But, like, I need you guys to get the faces of, like, Ben Shapiro, this guy, and J.D. Vance next to each other. Just take everything from the eyebrows to the mouth and just, like, put those faces next to each other and tell me there's not something going on, okay? That's all I'm saying. Just take those faces, put them next to each other, and tell me there's not something going on. Like, dude, what is up with all of them having this demonic, ghoulish, like, sneering look as their resting face? It's like hate turns your resting face into a sneer, and they all have that resting sneer face. And rape eyebrows. That's a very good way of putting it, Ashroom. They all have rape eyebrows. I'm not calling them rapists. I'm just saying, I call that type of eyebrow, personally, and among my friends, rape eyebrows.
The man speaking in that clip is the boyfriend of Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's all I'm gonna say. Representative Jasmine Crockett.
Okay, I'm really wondering what that exercise is supposed
to be, the boyfriend of Marjorie
though.
Taylor Greene. That's all I'm gonna say.
What is this? Is she trying to do a muscle up? I'm guessing she can't, though, because she'll bust her head into the ceiling if she does a full muscle up, right? So she has to do this weird, like, sideways, like, almost muscle up. Otherwise, she'll smash her head into the ceiling. That's funny as fuck, actually. That's really funny. Because if she goes all the way, she'll smash her head into the light above her or something. It's a CrossFit pull-up. I'm pretty sure she wants to do a muscle up. She wants to get all the way up. But if she does it, her head will go through into the attic. Well, yeah, what's also kind of, like, cheaty about this is she's using momentum. And if you really want to do it right, if you're trying to make yourself fucking burn, because it doesn't matter how many reps you can do, you're just trying to make yourself burn as fast as possible and reach your limit and then go a little beyond it, because that's all that matters when you're working out. That's how you get, like, better. But if you're just trying to, like, cheat with your momentum and get as many reps out as possible, you're not really doing much for yourself, and that's kind of what she's doing here. Yeah, it's why CrossFit is fucking lame, Eliakai. Like, CrossFit is, like, notoriously cringe. Like, it doesn't really work as well as more measured and, I guess, medically backed workouts. Like, you're trying to compete against your own limits when you're working out, not set some goal that you reach, regardless of what you know you can achieve, right? Like, you don't really gain much from, like, killing yourself in a workout. Like, that doesn't do anything for you. You don't gain more from that workout than you do, much more at least, than you do from just a reasonable, well-paced, effective workout. I don't know. I'm not getting into a workout tangent here.
Representative Jasmine Crockett is a traditionally feminine presenting woman.
CrossFit does burn a lot of calories, which would imply that if calorie burning is what Marjorie Taylor Greene needs, then that's hilarious. For reasons that conservatives seem to find funny.
She's got a face full of makeup, false eyelashes, long hair, and isn't afraid to wear pink. Her aesthetic aligns with conventional markers of femininity. So, why did Marjorie Taylor Greene make a derogatory comment about her appearance? First and foremost, Greene is a known instigator and bully, but there's some subtext. Conservatives tend to have essentialist views on gender, so they believe femininity is inherent to a woman, and this translates into the feminine aesthetic they idealize, an aesthetic in which a woman's femininity should be apparent but never distracting. And that's where, in the mind of Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jasmine Crockett went wrong. Her lashes were apparently too much. In my opinion, it looked fine. It fit in with her face. It didn't look like she was wearing Furbies on her eyelids. Like, it just looked like she was doing a full beat. Looked appropriate to me. But traditionally feminine aesthetics are as much about whiteness as they are about womanness. So these people will always find some.
All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna say it, okay? I'm gonna say what no one else will, okay? The vast majority of white women that I have seen in our government are very bad when it comes to makeup. Can we all agree on that? Like, or at least maybe they're good at it, but they're certainly not exercising their skill before they go to the halls of Congress or whatever, right? It's just not very, very common. However, Rep. Crockett, like, hold on, let me rewind until she's on screen. She is really pretty. Like, she is leaned into it. And I honestly think that for a lot of, like, for Marjorie Taylor Greene in particular, it's racism and sexism. It's like that bitchy mean girl jealousy, and it's also racism. Because let's be honest, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is the representative of racist white soccer moms in that, like, district of Georgia, that, like, rural-ish kind of country/suburb area. She's like their idol. She is them. She is their representative, right? So you know for a fact that she's racist as fuck. So she's jealous and racist. That's what we gotta really nail it down on, I think.
It looked appropriate to me, but traditionally feminine aesthetics are as much about whiteness as they are about womanness. So these people will always find something deviant about a black woman's performance of femininity. When a white woman does it, it's trendy and cool. When a black woman does it, it's unacceptable and ghetto. Hence, Greene was quick to...
Or they'll suggest it's dishonest, right? Because a lot of like white supremacist beliefs and stereotyping about black women is that black women aren't feminine. And so I guess the idea of doing those things to meet those standards of femininity would also be seen as dishonest. And this applies to all women as well. You'll see that like a lot of incel dude bro, like toxic masculine types like to say things like take girls to the beach or the pool on a first date. Like that kind of thing. There's this error of like, oh, they're dishonest, they're lying to you in their appearance, that dudes will say about women who put on like makeup or use like false lashes or something like that. Yeah.
Insult Crockett's appearance when she had never commented on the appearance of other colleagues. For example, Representative Lauren Boebert, a Republican congresswoman from Colorado, has feuded with Greene in the past. She wears makeup, clip-in hair extensions, and lashes, but Greene never used those physical embellishments as a point of attack. Why is that?
I don't know much about makeup, but I know a little bit because I've dated women before, and they talk about makeup a lot. But honestly, Boebert's makeup is not well done. Maybe she has like a pretty bumpy face or something underneath the makeup, but oh yeah, her eyebrows are awful. Maybe the glasses are screwing her over a little bit here, but those eyebrows are not well filled in. Coming off as a little, the foundation, not too much foundation. Do you think it's too, I thought it might be too little, foundation. I don't know, but like, yeah. Dude, I like how we've gone we're doing the full Squad W calling conservative women ugly stream. Holy shit. Honestly, we embrace it, okay? We embrace it. It's not sexist if we do it to everybody.
Those physical embellishments as a point of attack. Why is that? 1, racism, but 2, Republican women kind of just look like that, which is what I want to
Yes, they do. Yes, they fucking do.
Explore in today's video. And here's why. After the election, my TikTok For You page was full of people pointing out that many prominent influencers had been awfully quiet after Trump's victory.
Speaking as an influencer, a lot of your favorite influencers are fucking embarrassing and fucking pathetic. To be a woman in America with a huge fucking platform and a huge audience and post nothing yesterday.
People were disappointed that their favorite female influencers seemed indifferent about the results of an election where women's rights to bodily autonomy were on the line. Or worse, they voted for the person who has been actively taking those rights away. While some were shocked and upset.
No need to call them out. They're going to experience the consequences of not, like, kicking it into overdrive and voting for Kamala once Trump takes office, okay? The more that a right-wing administration affects your life, the less that you can try and argue that you have no reason to, like, go out and prevent them from taking power, right?
Upset that these women with huge platforms didn't speak up. Many were equally disappointed, but they weren't.
Now that Chad is out of the way, I can definitively say that Boebert overdid her brows. True.
Surprised.
I'm not a great judge of character. I wasn't following Trump supporters. The amount of people I'm seeing being like, I had to unfollow so many people. What? You mean you can't see it in their eyes? The windows to their desolate abyss of a brain? They have a face and racist hair. I am so unsurprised whenever I hear that these influencers voted for. I already knew that. I already knew.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. You can always fucking tell. Like, yeah, oh, you voted for Trump. Really? Really? I'm so shocked.
And listen, I'm not trying to drag people's appearances for no reason, but this has to be studied because there is a certain Republican look.
How right-wing people always love to hammer home the whole blue hair feminist.
Zan's love for Lord of the Rings has inspired me to begin reading The Hobbit. It's an insanely good book. And it's like, it's good out of the gate. That's the thing about Tolkien's writing. It's not one of those stories that like takes a bit to like ramp up and get good. Like especially if you're going in blind or mostly blind, you're locked in from page one. Like the second or third sentence is like, okay, this world is interesting. I'm in. You know, I love Tolkien's writing.
This stereotype.
Have fun.
All of you bitches look the same. Really, all of you bitches look the same. You have this.
And you know, that's probably a big part of like why they push the thing that they do, right? Like you see a woman who's got like blue hair and pronouns or whatever, and I think that like you go back to 2008 and like every meme about what dudes are into is about like how guys are into like the colored hair scene girls that wear like a lot of eyeliner and don't dress like a lot of nonconformity, right? But nowadays that's like perceived as being like the ugly feminist look, I guess, because it's not traditional. The right has pushed really hard to move young people culturally into viewing what was literally like a decade ago seen as like the peak of femininity into a disgusting thing to sneer at and degrade. It's a really bizarre switch up that's happened in like 15 years, I guess I would say. Like it started maybe 12 or 13 years ago, but like 15 years ago, that was the peak. Now it's the trough, I guess. True, they make fun of liberal women for fitting into a stereotype when conservative men also fit into a stereotype. Well, that's the thing. They try to enforce their stereotypes as good and anything that breaks it as bad. 2000s and 2010s being a naked counterculture girl on the internet was the cool thing to do. Yeah, now it's like you're destroying Western civilization.
Same bad bleach job, micro-link extensions hanging out the back of your head, and the perhaps worst spray tan.
I am still in favor of naked counterculture women. That is, there are still men out there, such as myself, who are in favor of this, by the way. We are still out there, okay? Not all of us are cringe lord conservatives, all right? Some of us still have taste.
And I've seen in my entire 22 yeyears on Earth. And also, none of you can do makeup to save your fucking life.
Real.
Is that a requirement to be a Republican? I'm literally just asking.
Listen, when a straight dude can tell, when a straight dude is calling that shit out, you know that it's true. This is not mean girl insults. This is just real shit. I'm a straight guy, and just dating women, I know enough about makeup to know that these conservative women are awful at makeup.
Why do they all look like that? Of course, this is a generalization. Not every Republican woman looks the same, but
they do not watch makeup YouTubers. Like a lot of women watch makeup YouTubers, and it's not because of the makeup. It's because 90% of makeup YouTubers tend to also be storytellers that have a strong parasocial tie to their audience. Like I used to watch like my exes when like what they watched as well sometimes, and usually it would be a makeup YouTuber who's of course like doing something with their face, you know, using it as like the canvas. And, you know, the watching the before and after and the whole process is nice, but usually they're also talking while doing their makeup, telling stories or even just giving tips and stuff like that. And a lot of at least progressive younger women that I know who are like in their 20s or even in their 30s tend to watch that kind of content. It's very like go-to popular entertainment and in a way passive education on like very skilled makeup tactics, right? Tactics. It's such a man way to describe it. Holy shit. but like that I feel like a lot of conservative women aren't watching that kind of stuff because those creators tend to lean pretty liberal, pretty left-leaning, right? And so like a lot of TikTokers who are doing makeup stuff, and I feel like a lot of progressive women watch that stuff more often than not, or more often than conservative women do. That's probably a big part of it, right? Any women in chat want to confirm or deny if this is real? Oh yeah, also conservatives can't do art. That's a big part of it too. And makeup is a kind of art.
The prominent ones tend to favor this aesthetic, which includes long layered hair, orange spray tan, noticeable plastic surgery, and heavy-handed makeup. Conservative ideology emphasizes traditional...
It's actually crazy how much they're like imitating Trump, even the women. Holy crap. Spray tan, fake blonde, orange spray tan.
Gender roles with expectations that women embody a specific version of femininity tied to domesticity and softness. But in recent years, it seems like Republican women are straying from this ideal. So for example, Marjorie Taylor Greene's assertive demeanor and combative rhetoric, even her muscular physique, seem at odds with these values. This apparent contradiction illustrates a broader evolution in conservative politics. Greene...
Well, the evolution in conservative politics is that everything is okay if it serves the right wing's agenda, and nothing is okay if it is perceived as supporting the left.
Embodies a form of what some scholars call conservative feminism, where women assert power without adhering to traditional ideals of female passivity or submissiveness. It shows that conservatism, even while promoting traditional values, can accommodate and elevate women who break gender norms in pursuit of influence. In this pursuit of influence, they are sacrificing the soft disposition that conservatives value in their women, so it seems like they try to overcompensate for that lack of femininity in their physical appearance. So in today's video, I want to explore the Republican woman aesthetic and why prominent Republican women present themselves in certain ways that both reflect and contradict conservative ideals of femininity.
Why do they look like that?
The idealization
basically?
And the performance of femininity is something that is sort of endlessly interesting to me, so that's why I want to talk about this topic. Like I mentioned earlier, conservative ideology promotes traditional gender roles that are rooted in an essentialist view of gender, which assumes that men and women have distinct innate qualities suited to different roles in society. These roles are often framed as natural or divinely ordained. For women, this comes with expectations of modesty, domesticity, and softness. Conservative ideals often promote the idea that women should dress and behave modestly to convey respectability and femininity. Outfits should be polished but not too revealing, and the same goes for demeanor. Women are encouraged to be polite and not overly assertive, which is seen as unladylike. Women are expected to embody traits like kindness, gentleness, and emotional warmth. This goes hand in hand with the belief that women are naturally more nurturing than men, making them perfectly suited for caregiving roles. The ideal conservative woman isn't just a homemaker, she's also a source of emotional support and moral guidance for her family. There's also a big emphasis on women as the heart of the home. The ideal conservative woman is often portrayed as a dedicated wife and mother, putting her family's needs above her own. Careers and ambitions outside the home are fine, but they are often framed as secondary to family responsibilities. A lot of these ideals come from the Bible, where men and women are seen as having God-given roles that complement each other. In Christianity, women are often encouraged to submit to their husbands.
Oh no, turn off the autofocus! Advice to, why am I forgetting her name right now? I feel so bad. Amanda Mariana. Maybe she ends up watching my reaction to her video. Always before recording, turn off autofocus. And if you're recording with a webcam, if your PC restarts, then 99% of the time, then your camera settings reset. And so even if you've turned off autofocus before, you got to do it every time you restart your PC before recording. Otherwise, sometimes you get that like unintentional little like blur to the video that just happened. That is the YouTuber advice segment from Xander Hall. You're one for the day. You get one a day, chat.
Husbands, while men are expected to lead. On top of that, there's this nostalgic appeal to a past where traditional families were seen as the backbone of society. In conservative thought, sticking to these roles helps preserve stability and order. Fun fact, that is why there is no universal childcare. Reagan didn't want that because he felt like it would make the US a communist state and erode the nuclear family. Ironically, many prominent conservative women in politics and media don't fully fit this mold. They're loud, assertive, and often combative.
Don't let the Democrats take you for granted. Don't let them...
You'll notice that the right has always, or at least for a while now, has supported things that go against their ideals if it, in the end, the ends justify the means, right? For them. And so, I remember when Lauren Southern got really big, her talking points heavily focused on the idea that women belong in the kitchen, and as, like, you know, wives pumping out babies, right? That was a lot of her talking points. And yet she was a 20-something young woman who was unmarried and childless, who was traveling around the world, speaking at events, and building a career as a conservative pundit. And the right absolutely coagulated around her. Massively so. They loved her. Even though she went against everything they believed a woman should do, she was a very influential, popular, conservative pundit who was doing a lot of work to enforce and popularize their ideas. They looked past it. They ignored the fact that she was a young woman throwing her life away, quote unquote, and not having kids.
Step on you.
Okay. Whatever that means.
Yet they still lean into traditional feminine aesthetics, polished hair, makeup, dresses, to maintain an outward appearance of adhering to these ideals. This creates a bit of a paradox. Conservative women in leadership often borrow traits traditionally associated with masculinity to thrive in male-dominated spaces, but they attempt to balance it by presenting themselves in a way that aligns with conservative expectations of femininity. And sometimes it's pretty damn weird. Look no farther than Republican Congresswoman Katie.
Conservative women are indeed fucking weird. Thank you.
Britt's speech in response to Joe Biden's State of the Union.
Good evening, America. My name is Katie Britt, and I have the honor of serving the people of the great state of Alabama in the United States Senate. However, that's not the job that matters most. I am a proud wife and mom of 2 school-aged kids. My daughter Bennett and my son Ridgway are why I ran for the Senate. I'm worried about their future and the future.
Okay, chat. I need to tell you something. All right, this is the grand truth. All right, your eyes, your third eye is about to open. So listen up. Women, all women. All right, hashtag all women are weird. Okay. Every woman that you know on this planet has a weird hyperfixation obsession with something. A hobby, a piece of media, a game, a forum on the internet that's super obscure and odd, something like that they are obsessed with. They think about it multiple times a day at least, and they will never come out to talk to you about it unless they really trust that you will not have your opinion of them changed by learning of this, okay? This is true of every single woman I have ever met, all right? Sounds like autism to me? All women have autism, okay? We all have autism in our own little way, okay? Like every man, every woman, but this is true of every woman, okay? The thing about conservative women is I feel like their weird hyper-obsession, instead of being something like funny or cool, like, I don't know, like taxidermy or like true crime or something normal, like a normal weird obsession, it's all funneled and filtered into conservatism and like weird conspiracy theories and deranged shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like a normal weird thing. It ends up being like this is something I've noticed a lot. Conservatism. Yeah, exactly. I've noticed this a lot.
Future of children in every corner of our nation. President Biden just doesn't get it. He's out of touch. Under his administration, families are worse off.
You lost me there, Xander. You can lie to yourself as much as you like, but if you're a woman, you've got a weird, unconventional hyper interest that's yours. I promise you, it's true. Don't deny it.
Our communities are less safe, and our country is less secure. The country we know and love seems to be slipping away, and it feels like the next generation will have fewer opportunities and less freedoms than we did. This is the United States of America, and it is past time, in my opinion, that we start acting like it. Meanwhile, The Chinese Communist Party is undercutting America's workers. China is buying...
Why does she sound like... Why is she doing her best firecracker from The Boys Season 4 impression right now?
Those communists are pushing a agenda on our people.
Did she watch, like, the new season of The Boys and just, like, run on being firecracker? Like, Jesus, dude. It's really on the nose right now. She's from Alabama? That's true. Alabamans just sound like that.
Buying up our farmland, spying on our military installations, and spreading propaganda through the likes of TikTok. You see, the CCP knows that if it conquers the minds of our next generation, it conquers America.
As one commentator put it,
so true.
This video feels like a Black Mirror episode, and I couldn't agree more. It's like she's...
It's an episode of The Boys, except The Boys, as it turns out, is just a future-telling show.
Being held hostage in a staged IKEA kitchen, and if she doesn't read this message, she'll get kicked off the board of her HOA. It's also insane to hear a well-off politician whose husband is a former NFL player talk about how she's scared for her children's futures because they'll have less opportunities. Yes, because children of politicians and athletes famously struggle to find opportunities. The whole thing reeks of pandering. She's trying way too hard to come across as this empathetic, concerned parent who's just like the rest of you. I shop at Walmart and drive the kids to soccer practice in my Cybertruck. And listen, I know it's not easy to come across as natural when you're reading off a teleprompter. I know that because I'm reading off a teleprompter right now. But the awkwardness in this video can't just be attributed to a teleprompter. It truly feels like Katie Britt is trying to come across as someone she is not, a regular, middle-class mother. It makes sense that she's trying to lean into this character.
To be very clear, I've heard, oh my god, there's so many cases where this is what's going on. So many of these conservative pundits come from money. A lot of them got big by buying ad space. You can absolutely pay your way into prominence as a conservative content creator if you have a bit of money to go in with. YouTube allows you to buy ad space to run your YouTube videos as an ad before other YouTube videos. You guys might know that PragerU did this for a long time. Abby Shapiro, Ben Shapiro's sister, basically built her entire audience off of that. Because if you can force people to be exposed to your content via ads, eventually you'll hoover up enough supporters that are like-minded to you that you'll have basically astroturfed yourself into prominence. And it's been done for a lot of these conservative pundits. And I've noticed there's these, like, ranch-owning, wealthy, rural-living, prominent TikToker, right-winger YouTubers, and Twitter posters that I guarantee you paid for ad space to get themselves to the top of people's feeds. I've noticed this it's how so many of these accounts just materialize out of nowhere and become multi-million follower accounts, particularly on Twitter.
Because Americans are much more receptive to mother candidates rather than their childless peers, as we've seen. Ultimately, Britt came across as trying way too hard. Like, even the names of her children sounded fake.
My daughter Bennett and my son Ridgway.
And if those are fake names,
Bennett and Ridgway are some real fucking, like, conservative... Well, I don't even... You just... Oh, man. Those are some conservative names right there. Bennett and Ridgway. Holy shit. That's crazy. Thought I'd pop in for a bit. Good to have you back, Zan. I was a bit worried there for a while. Congrats on 100K. Yeah, I died, guys. They killed me. They got me, dude. I was gone for 4 days because they got me. No, I was just sick. I'm back. I'm alive. Don't worry. Anyway, yeah, I mean, oh man, I don't want to take any more content from this great creator, so I'm going to highly recommend, once again, that you guys click the link to the original video and go leave a like and some support on it. I left a like myself, and you know what? I'm going to subscribe. There we go. I liked and subbed, just like you should, both on this video and on the original. Went ahead and reposted it there in chat for you guys. I'll post it in the YouTube chat too. Go send some support. What a good video. Finally, someone's talking about the fact that conservative women are fucking weird, dude. About goddamn time. This is a conversation we've been needing to we needed to have had this conversation years ago. It's about time. Anyway, if you enjoyed this segment, if you found it entertaining, educational, or enjoyable, then please consider leaving a like, subscribe, or ring the bell icon on my channel. It really does help a lot. It boosts the channel, makes sure that people see my stuff in the recommended. Commenting is a big help, even if it's something simple and dumb like who up Xandering their haul. That's become the meme on my channel. Who up Xandering they haul. Reply to those comments with OMG me, by the way. That's the appropriate reply. But yeah, go ahead and do all the good things. Follow my social medias, link down below in the description. If you want to support me directly, you can subscribe, ring the bell icon, or not subscribe, ring the bell icon. That's not financially. That's for free. You can donate, subscribe, or gift a sub to my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buying merch to the Streamlabs link down below. Regardless, though, of how you support me, thank you so much for watching this segment, and have a good one.